What up everyone, it's your girl Anime Reviewer Girl, and I have a new video for you guys today. And for this video, I decided to do another top 5. Now I know I probably look a little disheveled, maybe. I have not been wearing makeup all week just to give my skin a little bit of a rest and to take care of it just a little bit. So I haven't been wearing any makeup, and so between the you look so tired and stuff like that, or you look like you've been punched in the face because I got dark circles under my eyes. But hey, that's life. So this is my skin in all its glory. But anyway, that's besides the point. Anyway, for today, I decided to do another top 5 video for you guys. And for this top 5 video, I decided to do my top 5 favorite anime villains. And I'm sorry if you just heard my phone. It's off now. Anyway, I did my top 5 favorite villains, anime villains, for this video. And usually I use villains in a very lucrative sense. Not so much the whole or the I tried to do an evil laugh, but that just looked more like a monkey. But anyway, I tried to do an evil laugh, so I don't need villains in that sense. But sometimes villains are just someone that the main character just has to overcome in some sense. And my top 5 ranged from your typical evil villain to kind of your not so typical one. Anyways, let's get this started. So number 5, I decided to go with Queen Beryl from Sailor Moon. And yes, Queen Beryl is kind of like your typical villain who's trying to get those Sailor Scouts. But in reality, she was actually a pretty cool evil villain, especially towards the end. I mean, still kind of your typical one because she sent other people out to do her bidding and do her work until she really was just like, you know what? I'm gonna show y'all how it's done. And then she still ended up losing. But anyway, she was number 5 of my favorite top evil villains. And to that, I have to go with number 4, which is Sai from Peach Girl. Now, Sai from Peach Girl, she's not really a villain as far as she doesn't have any like evil powers or anything like that. Also, if you're hearing any noise, they're doing construction right outside my window right now. But anyway, Sai's not your typical evil villain. She's mostly just evil in the sense that she does really manipulative things to get people on her side. In Peach Girl, she's the best friend of Momo, and Momo is I've talked about Peach Girl before, but Momo is basically not considered very pretty because she has darker skin due to the fact that she swims, and people think that she's a hoe because they think she sleeps around. And I think Sai is so pure and so nice because Sai is like very, very pale, very, very light. She's small, very dainty. But in reality, Sai is very, very mean. She takes advantage of Momo, and she is Momo's evil villain because she's someone that Momo has to overcome or prevail over to basically show her own self-worth. So yeah, number 4, I gotta go with Sai. Plus, Sai is like the epitome of an evil villain that most girls have. Most girls have someone that has been taking advantage of them, or doesn't like them, or someone that does mean things to them. And sometimes they don't understand why, but someone who's like that, and then someone who's also manipulative to that extent as well, to where it looks like they're the ones doing bad things when in reality it's someone else. So number 3, I have to go with the Generation of Miracles from Kuroko's Basketball. And while they're not all together in that sense, as far as them being evil villains together, it is individually that they each come about for the Syrian team to have to defeat in their basketball tournaments. Now, Generation of Miracles, they are a team that did not play together. They each were out for themselves, and ultimately they all went their separate ways. But they're still really, really good basketball players, and each time the Syrian team played against another team that had a Generation of Miracles on them, they then had another villain to defeat and to figure out what their weaknesses were, how they can best defeat them and their team, and also to figure out what that person's strengths were and how they can combat it. So that's why I chose them as number 3, because they were all really, really cool, and they all had really neat strengths and weaknesses. And it was kind of cool seeing how the Syrian basketball team could ultimately overcome them. So number 2 and number 1 were kind of tied for some time, and I couldn't decide who would be which one would be number 2, which one would be number 1. But I ultimately came to a decision, and number 2 is going to be Light Yagami from Death Note. And I chose him because while he started out doing well, he then ultimately turned evil and turned bad because he got corrupted, per se. And that was kind of one of the things I liked about him as a villain, because he didn't start out as one. You know, when you saw him, he started out as a really, really good character. And you were like, oh, he's doing so much good and everything else. But then in reality, over time, he ended up having to do a lot of bad to ultimately feel like he was doing some sort of good, which didn't always work. And ultimately, at the end of the series, you started to not like Light too much anymore because of all the bad things that he was done. And then he did turn out to be an evil character, but he still turned out to be one of my favorite evil characters. Oh Lord, one of my favorite evil characters because of that aspect. So if you haven't seen Death Note, check it out and let me know what you guys think. And if you've seen Death Note, let me know what you think as of this choice and whether or not you think he's a villain or a good guy. But regardless, I feel he can actually be in both categories, for the beginning and for the end of the series. Now, for number one, I chose one of my favorite characters, Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. And now I know Vegeta is not really a villain, because Vegeta is now on the Z character's side, and he's usually there to help them when it comes to villains. But he was like the original villain from the beginning of the series, you know, when Raditz and all that came. But Vegeta was ultimately the villain in the first season, and then he turned good once Frieza came along. But Vegeta's a really cool villain because he still has that villain aspect, even though he's a good guy and he's ultimately helping them, because of the fact that whenever an evil villain comes along, he has that evil villain perspective of like, this is why they're doing it, this is how they're doing it, and he understands how to get into that evil character's mind. And that is why I like him. And I like the fact that he's still evil, but yeah, he's doing some kind of good. And that's why Vegeta is my number one favorite villain in anime. But yeah, what do you think of my top 5? Who are your top 5 favorite characters? Or better yet, for the question, who's your favorite anime villain? And yeah, comment that down below so I know. And let me know what series it's from as well, so that I can know, you know, to watch that series or not. So yeah, comment that down below. Also, of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. And like always, give this video a thumbs up. And I will leave links in the description box below to all of my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my anime blog. And check all those out. And I'll have a new video out for you guys on Wednesday. Maybe it'll be a review. Maybe it'll be another discussion. Who knows? I come up with whatever I can. And of course, if you guys have any ideas for videos you guys would like me to do, comment that down below as well, because I might just pick it. Alright, you guys, thanks so much for everything, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.